Alright, Shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honor unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, a great millstone who rule well, who taught us his truth. Salute to Ibn Akim. Now, this is a video, I watched this yesterday, from uploaded by GMS Watchman. The brother Yashalam over there from the New York main camp. And he's entitled it, Beware of this man in Scotland claiming Hebrew Israelism. He's not right. Now, it's crazy because earlier that day, which was yesterday, I was, briefly scrolling through Instagram, and I saw it on one of these pages. I don't know how to describe it, like these black Instagram pages, like just bait. It's either them or one of them kind of pages on Instagram. You know what I'm talking about. And I saw it and I was like, the fuck? I saw the woman, but then I just kind of kept scrolling, but it's not until I saw this I was like, oh shit, you got people commenting and that, so you already know that it's more than likely some sort of agent activity going on, trying to spin a particular narrative on the Israelite thing, the Hebrew Israelite thing. Just another smear campaign, really, from a different angle, right? The choice of language, when what you realize when it comes to smear campaigns and that, is that it's like the choice of language. Something can be fundamentally true or acceptable at its core, but the way a person phrases something, it can just make it. You can see that the purposefulness behind trying to make it sound off. See, they talk about I'm the inferior wife and this and that. Now, for what it's worth, an inferior wife is what? A concubine, But in this day and age, with the way terminology, it all goes back to psychology. He's inquired a diligent search. The way certain things are said, the way it's phrased, the way it's said, the enunciation of it, the tone, all from like today's sort of mindset and understanding towards things. Colloquially, it's like you can clearly see the you can clearly see the angle they're coming from, trying to, because someone's going to listen to that and be, oh, dear God, no, inferior wife, what, So it's on purpose, man, So anyway, let me play a bit of this.
.co.uk, explaining what this video is all about. Alright, so without further ado, check this out.
I am the handmaid of Queen Nandi. I am the inferior mistress, and I also play as a surrogate for the queen.
See, that's just not gonna wash well, is it? That's just not gonna wash well. So the handmaid, inferior mistress, as I already explained, for what it's worth at its core, is that off? No, but it's the way it's being phrased. Inferior mistress, this, that. People are gonna tell you, the next thing you know, oh, misogyny, this, domestic violence. It's all going down that pathway. But the reason why they're talking like that is because it's a setup to try and like smear what the truth is about, man. Or aspects of the truth, should I say. Inferior mistress. You can't say shit like that in a world like today, man. What the hell people gonna think, man? So again, all this jargon, trying to tie that in with Israelism, as they say, you can clearly see the agenda.
I'm also the bondwoman of the king, which means I do not have the formal title of a wife, but he is my husband, and we are a tribe.
The kingdom of Kubala has been on a pilgrimage to our lost heritage, following the roots of our ancestors back to the land where Jacob, our forefather, laid his stone, the stone of scorn, and he blessed it with oil. After he poured the oil, he said, one day, the Messiah, his son, the Shiloh, shall return to Scotland, and he shall build back.
To Scotland? What? What? Now, you got Jake up in Scotland 100%, we're over here in England, man. Okay? So we know about these areas because brothers, have been all around, traveled and things of that nature, but you can go into the history, just because, you go into the history, you got Anglo-Saxons, angelic sons of Isaac. See, this guy, he's probably heard that and then tried to make a whole doctrine out of it. As if, Britain, you probably know Covenant Man, British. You probably heard a bit of the snippet of that and then tried to make a whole doctrine out of it. And then as an agent, just be like, there's some massive end time prophecies to do with Scotland. Like, that's just not the case. What's up with Scotland, man? You had was it like 2 years ago or a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago? Well, a couple is two anyway, but was it like 3 years ago or something like that? You had the ISUPK. If my memory serves me correct, I think even General Yohanna, the commanding general, Yohanna himself, came over. I believe the whole entourage came over, and they held a Passover in some castle in Scotland. Scotland seems to draw a lot of attention to, and again, there are historical, Jake historical stuff all over England, Scotland, Ireland, mainland England, whatever, okay, because we know through the history it's only about 500-600 years ago Esau came into power, the dark ages and all of that. It was Jake, okay, the Renaissance, the rebirth, the whitewashing, we know that. So, the history of England is an Israelite history, we know that, okay, but you can't now just, because because that's like Gad and Reuben, they known for migrating and the land Sabbath and all of that. That's like discovering a patch of land where Reuben was and then just making a doctrine out of that landmass. Like, right, well, okay, so Reuben was here once, Gad was here at one point, so yeah, we're just going, this is the pilgrimage point. You can't do that. Okay, the scriptures put emphasis on Jerusalem, man. Okay, Yerushalayim, the city and teaching of peace, man. Okay, no fucking Scotland, bro. As rich as the history is, that ain't the land, bro. The prophecy isn't that we're gonna go to Scotland, man. Okay, get it together, man. Look, this is Galatians, yeah. Galatians 4:26, but Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Okay, so the mother of us all is Jerusalem, man. Okay, which is what the capital city of Israel. Okay, so there is no prophecy on going to Scotland, man. You know, you got a lot of these bugged out philosophies out there, or skepticism. Let me say this instead. I say it this way: you got a lot of skepticisms out there, assumptions, skepticisms, guesses, and all of that stuff. I'm not gonna get into that, but different apostles, who traveled where, who went where. There's a doctrine out there that Apostle Paul, other apostles, went to England and all that. It's just the evidence ain't backing it, but it's like people just want to incorporate. That's another angle. That's another demon. That's another angle. Another stance. People want to incorporate other land masses because they just want to chill there. Or if you just want to chill there, then chill there. But don't start saying that prophecies line up with where you're at. You in Scotland, man. You want to be careful that you don't run into a pack of wolves, out there, or a Scotsman, and because they look like they're in some rural place in the woods. Yeah, you might want to be careful that some Scotsman with a farmer's cap and a rifle don't roll up, and ask you how it's going, lad. Top of the morning to you. You might hear a top of the morning and a gun barrel loaded. You want to be careful, you fat ass, serving you iron brew. There's another shot where she's bowing down, serving him iron brew. Probably get that in the moment. You might hear top of the morning to you. And that's your ass. This is Genesis 49, Jacob, right? Our forefather. Put in the the blessings, and still going. Hopefully we're still going. The prophecy over the sons, right? The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Right. And there's so many points to get on this, but I'm just going to get on one point real quick. Yeah. Right. Genesis 49 and 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor lawgiver between his feet, until Shiloh come, the peaceable one, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Okay? Right. Now, the Shiloh, the peaceable one there is talking about Yahushua. Scepter represents rulership. Yahushua comes from the tribe of Judah. The scriptures speak about that abundantly. Now, the scriptures also say, for out of Zion shall go forth the law, man. Okay. Right. Isaiah 2 and 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and to the house of our God of Jacob, of the God of Jacob, the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. Right? We will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. There you go. So where the fuck does Scotland come into that? You just some Zimbabwean guy. Yeah, probably yacked off your head with some brown ass liquor. Because they like to do, sipping on some iron brew, right? Let me see. Where is it? There's another photo of, oh, I can't even find it, but she was serving him iron brew in a bottle. And if it's in the plastic bottle, that's not even the original iron brew, man. If you want to go to Scotland and get proper iron brew, it comes in a glass bottle, man. Shit tastes totally different. You ain't drinking real iron brew. You know, you out there in some fucking woods. Yeah, like I said, you better be careful. You don't just run into a couple of Scots, man. You know, with a farmer's cap on and a rifle over his shoulder, talking about top of the morning to you. If they tell you that top of the morning, that's your ass, man. Okay, because they ain't gonna tolerate this shit. But this is probably some agent activity, man. You know, but although Scotland's got a rich history for Jake, it's got nothing to do with end time biblical prophecy and Shiloh. You know, so this is some bugged out shit, man. We ain't got nothing to do with these guys either. Yeah, man, shalom.